did, but where do you live? Do you live?
I live in Hopewell.
So did you got the warning?
Oh, it was my, all five of, because I have 3 kids. All of our phones are going. All the kids are running. Well, my friend, all 4 of it, none of their phones went off. How you doing tonight? Yeah, I don't know.
Something. Good to see you.
Yeah.
So did you get them all in the basement?
We're all down there in the basement. I'm
I did it
scared,
too.
but I just was reading now that there was one that hit right there in Robinson's, and then right in West Bay. There was another one. I know.
Yeah,
That was close.
got,
That was close.
I went upstairs to help my sister, got her kids
Yeah,
downstairs.
that's what we did. Party in the basement.
That was only 20 minutes.
Nah, yeah. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you. Tiffany. Yeah.
So what was the end result? Do you guys want them?
We literally just met today, and this, our maintenance guy, Kevin, you know Kevin?
Yeah.
He's going to check with, he said to see, okay, do not tell him, he's gonna check and see if somebody can get it moved. It's not gonna be a task, but it's a nice lift. They say, can you use it? So yes, because the one we have is like kind of, yeah, so we literally just had a meeting today, we just had a chat. I will definitely tell you.
As soon as they decide that you'll do it or whatever.
I think it's like half a minute.
But anyways, what I'm getting at is that I'll call you, we're gonna get to it.
Yeah, finally. Hi, everyone. Questions for Liz?
No, I know.
I usually tell her the executive session topics.
I have nothing from her saying no. Because I knew she was here. But
Usually I text
I
the
was gonna say, I've never done that, so that would be new for me.
She's here, she's out at the front, trying to help people. Where's that one? Who's the one? Do you want me to go check? I'll go check.
She was trying to man the front. I just texted you that.
Meet and discuss board meeting of the Ambridge Area School District is held on Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. This meeting is being held to review the agenda for the regular monthly board meeting that will be held on Wednesday, May 15th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. Please rise for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being recorded for district purposes. It is or may be published in part or in its entirety on the district's website without the express permission of the meeting participants. With that, may I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Fisher?
Here.
Ms. Fitzko? Here. Ms.
Mrs. Kehoe,
Here.
Mr. Kovacevic,
Here.
Mr. Metz,
Here.
Mrs. Ramasco,
Here.
Ms. Young,
Here.
Mr. Zachi,
Here.
Mr. Carpenter,
Here.
all present.
Thank you. Sunshine Law, please.
The Board of School Directors held an executive session on Wednesday, May 8th, and will return into executive session at the conclusion of this meeting to discuss personnel matters, matters subject to attorney-client privilege and other confidentiality laws, litigation, or threatened litigation matters.
Okay, thank you. Any correspondence?
I received emails from, in support of the Baden Charter Academy, Baden Academy Charter, and I will circulate those to the board.
Okay, thank you. Any amendments to the agenda? Okay, thank you. I do not believe we have any presentations this evening. I'm not aware of any. All right, then, at this time, district residents may come forward to comment on agenda items only. Each person must state their first and last name and address prior to speaking. Each resident will be allowed 3 minutes and can speak only once. This period for public comment prior to the standing committee reports will be limited to 1/2 hour. Although not required, board members desiring to address questions or concerns may do so after the residents' comments or questions or at the conclusion of the committee reports. There will still be an opportunity for residents to comment on any business relevant to the Ambridge Area School District under old and new business at the end of the meeting. Okay, personnel, Ms. Young?
Thank you, President Carper. Sorry. Anyway, all new hires pending receipt of satisfactory and current clearances, satisfactory drug screening, TB testing, responses by current and former employers to Act 168 screening, and PD certifications if applicable. Number 1, 2023-24 spring coaches. It is recommended the following individuals be approved to fill the designated spring coaching positions for the 23-24 school year at a salary as per the terms of the collective bargaining agreement pending receipt of the current clearances, satisfactory drug screening, TB testing, and responses by the current/former employers to Act 168 screening, provided the school year allows coaches to hold spring sports as normal. 1, baseball, Christopher Rinker, volunteer coach, retroactive, and A and B, Arthur Ammon, volunteer coach. Stipends, no remuneration for either one. 2, stipend adjustment. It is recommended to approve the stipend adjustment for Dakota Pritchard to be paid the full stipend of $2,000 for his position as the track assistant coach. 3, 2024-2025 coaches. 1, boys soccer, A, David Stugen, head coach, stipend $4,300. 2, girls soccer, A, Ashley Braswell, assistant coach, $2,400. B, Madison Edwards, volunteer coach. C, Sarah Burns, volunteer coach, no remuneration. 3, football, A, James Massive, volunteer coach, no remuneration. 4, cheer, A, Haley Jones, volunteer coach, no remuneration. 5, girls golf, A, Nolan Koleric, assistant coach, $1,050. 6, boys golf, A, Philip Gehring, assistant coach, $1,050. 7, cross country, A, Karina Cooper, assistant coach, $1,850. Number 4, it is recommended to approve employee 2973 taking a leave of absence under policy 435, family and medical leave beginning May 6, 2024, not to exceed 60 days. Number 5, after-school tutoring. It is recommended to retroactively approve the following teachers for after-school per contract terms for spring 2024. Amanda Pfeiffer, teacher. Lynn Hartle, substitute teacher. Justine Jedry, substitute teacher. Number 6, ABC Transit bus driver in aid. It is recommended to approve the following individuals listed as operators, attendants, and maintenance for ABC Transit Incorporated for the 2023-24 school year, pending receipt of current clearances, satisfactory drug screening, TB testing, and responses by current/former employers to Act 168 screening. Van driver, Jacqueline Tazel, Raymond Blackham, Ivana Henry, Sarah Skees, aid. Number 7, resignation. It is recommended to accept the resignation of Michael Malenich from his position as a technology support technician effective June 28th, 2024 with regret. Number 8, retirement. It is recommended to approve the resignation due to retirement of Vivian Jarostowski from her position as the cafeteria employee at the high school effective May 31st, 2024 with regret. Number 9, 2024-25 district course and section adjustments. A, it is recommended to approve the alterations of the following positions for the 24-25 school year. 1, Economy Elementary School Academic Intervention Teacher. 2, Highland Elementary School Learning Support, Emotional Support, and Autistic Support, all grade levels. That is all for me.
And I,
Move for the adoption for all for personnel I have from 1 all the way to number 9.
okay, very good. Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? Roll, please.
Mrs. Fisher?
Yes.
Ms. Fitzko?
Yes.
Mrs. Kehoe?
Yes.
Mr. Kovacevic?
Yes.
Mr. Metz?
Yes to everything but number 6, I'll abstain.
Mrs. Romasco?
Yes to everything except 3, number 2, letter C. I'll abstain.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Zachary?
Yes.
Mr. Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Education and Technology, Mrs. Romasco.
Thank you, President Carpenter. Number 1, Allegheny Intermediate Unit. It is recommended to approve the comprehensive service agreement between the Ambridge Area School District and the Allegheny Intermediate Unit to provide specialized student services. Number 2, AOT Service Agreement Renewal. It is recommended to renew the service agreement with Associated Occupational Therapy for the 2024-2025 school year at a minimal increase.
Thank you, Mrs. Romasco, and my apologies, I did not announce that these are non-voting agenda items at this point. With that, are there any questions on Ed and Tech? Okay, thank you. Finance and Budget, Mr. Zachy?
Thank you. Number 1, school district monthly bills and salaries. It's recommended that the monthly school district bills in the amount of $2,255,550.64 and the monthly school district personnel salaries in the amount of $1,237,437.93 be paid. Number 2, the cafeteria monthly bills and salaries. It is recommended that the monthly cafeteria bills in the amount of $92,702.40 and the monthly cafeteria personnel salaries in the amount of $50,088.19 be paid. Number 3, the final budget for the 24-25 school year. It is recommended to approve Resolution 2024-2025-01, adopting the final general operating fund budget for the 24-25 fiscal year in the amount of $59,485,338. The final budget includes no tax increases, and the millage rate complies with the reassessment anti-windfall provisions of Act 1 of 2006 as amended. Any questions on 3? Number 4, resolution homestead farmstead exclusion is recommended to approve resolution 2024-2025-02, implementing the Act 1 homestead and farmstead exclusion be adopted. Any questions? Number 5, resolution providing for real estate installment payment. It is recommended to approve Resolution 2024-2025-03, a resolution authorizing the collection of real estate taxes during the 24-25 fiscal year in installments. Any questions on this? Number 6, audit engagement. It is recommended to approve an agreement between the Ambridge Area School District and Hosack Specht, Musil, and Wood LLP for school district financial and real estate tax collector audits at a cost of $21,500 for the year ended June 30, 2024, $22,350 for the year ended June 30, 2025, and $23,500 for the year ended June 30, 2026. Any questions on this? Number 7, gifts in kind. It is recommended to accept the donation from Dr. Brittany Keinel, the district dentist, for her services rendered at no charge to the district. The donor has received no goods or services in return for this gift.
Just had one, one comment, and I intend on making it again next week. But I just wanted to thank Brittany for her willingness to do this. We had for those of you that might recall, we had a dentist retire, so we needed to find another dentist. It took us some time to get somebody that was going to be willing to do this, and then through the help of one of our nurses here in the district, they located Brittany, and she was willing to do this for us. And then on top of that, to donate her services then back at no cost. That's just really says a lot about her, and I want to make sure that I say that. So again, next week I intend on doing that, but we appreciate her and what she did for our kids.
Any other questions? Number 8, student athletic insurance. It is recommended that the United States Fire Insurance Company, PSBA endorsed, be approved for voluntary student insurance coverage for the 24-25 school year beginning August 1st, 24. Goodwin and Gruber Agency will act as the insurance broker. The medical limits are $250,000 for a 1-year period. The rate for school-time coverage is $22.50 and $90 for 24-hour coverage. And letter B, it is recommended that United States Fire Insurance Company be approved for student athletic coverage at a cost of $12,007 to insure interscholastic athletes, band, and cheerleaders. The medical limit for sports is $1 million with a 2-year benefit plan, 2-year benefit period. Plan 1, which pays all medical expenses, usual and customary, will be used. The premium includes a field trip endorsement for all 1-day field trips within Pennsylvania for coverage up to $2,500 per student. Questions on number 8? And finally, number 9, ambulance service. It is recommended to approve an agreement between the Ambridge Area School District and the nonprofit Emergency Services of Beaver County Medic Rescue for a period of 1 year commencing on July 1st, 2024 at an annual fee of $3,600. This is an increase by $100 from last year. Any questions on 1 through 9? Mr. Carpenter?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zachi. Buildings and Grounds, Mr. Metz.
All right, number 1, Economy Elementary Outdoor Classroom. It is recommended to approve Economy Elementary PTA to donate the building and installation of the outdoor classroom, Gaga ball pit, to be used for outdoor teaching, recess, and school events. The donor has received no goods or services in return for this gift. Number 2.
Just one quick comment there. Again, want to thank the PTO at Economy. Plan on saying that again next week, but you know, their willingness to donate these type of things for the students in Economy Elementary. Obviously, the students will have an opportunity to enjoy the outdoor classroom as well as the ball pit. This is their second one of those. I know they enjoy that, so just want to thank them for all their work and their willingness to donate to the community.
That was my question. This is the second one because I think I remember approving one prior.
Yeah, so, yep. So originally it was going to be just an outdoor classroom, and then they decided to put a second one in
Okay.
for more folks to be able to play. Sorry, thank you.
All right, number 2, Head Start of Beaver County lease agreement. It is recommended to approve a lease agreement for Head Start of Beaver County program with the effective date June 1st, 2024, and the end date May 31st, 2025, pending solicitor's review. Any comments?
Is this a new location, or is this the same location?
Same location and just another year.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Metz. Athletics, Mrs. Fisher.
Thank you, President Carpenter. We have number 1, wrestling mats. It is recommended to purchase wrestling mats from Resolite, the mat company, at a total cost of $21,688.60 through the state bidding process, CoStars. Any questions?
I have a couple, I think. Dr. Pasquale, I think we were in the conversation of how long these mats last. This is quite a while, 15, 12 years, whatever it was. So you can go on with that. I'll get my second question on. It is a pretty substantial cost. Is this factored into this year's budget, or by the time they get paid for, is it 24, 25?
So to answer the first question, Mr. King helped do some research with the wrestling coach for me and found out that the current mats have been around since 2008. So we hope, as we always do, that the mats that we're buying will last a considerable amount of time, as those did, and they are up for replacement. As far as budget, we intend on looking at the athletic budget. I know Michelle has looked at that and talked with the AD as well as some other areas, and we intend on hopefully being able to get those purchased out of this year's budget.
I mean, are they in dire need that they're doing it now and not July?
Well, I mean, I think it could go either way. That would have been.
I don't care either way, it was just a question.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would just say that she's gonna look at what has been spent, and we always look at things conservatively, and if we have enough dollars in this and the need comes up, then we do. If not, then we budget it into next year. So I believe the intent right now, she'll review that one more time, but it would be that we would purchase that out of this year's budget.
Any other questions? All right, public relations, Ms. Fitzko.
I have nothing to report tonight. Thank you, President Kennedy.
Thank you. Steering and rules, Mrs. Kehoe.
Item number 1 is policy 249, anti-bullying/cyberbullying. It's a first reading. It is recommended as a first reading of School Board Policy 249, anti-bullying/cyberbullying, and update on the first reading. Policy 249 is to provide all students and employees with the right to a safe and civil educational environment free from harassment or bullying. Are there any questions? So I have this evening.
Thank you, Mrs. Kehoe. Legislative, Ms. Fitzko.
Thank you. Board of School Directors of the Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit mail ballot. It is recommended the 2024 mail ballot be cast for the 24-25 Board of School Directors of the Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit. The term of the Board of School Directors of the BVIU elected by this ballot shall be for 3 years beginning July 1st, 2024 and ending June 30th, 2027 as provided in the school code. Are there any questions? And that's all I have, President Carpenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fitzko. I didn't think I have a whole lot, but I talked too much, so I have a couple things. Dr. Brittany Kennel, I caught wind of that the other day. Dr. Pasquarella shared that with me, and just what an amazing act of kindness. So please pass on to her our thanks as well. I did have the chance to catch a band concert this week, and as usual, they were dynamite. Very good group of kids, and every year it just seems like they get a little better, and it's just, they sounded really great on stage. That includes the show choir, and the show choir was actually run by the students with some guidance from their teachers, right? But they were dynamite too. It was just excellent. The Economy PTA Outdoor Classroom, again, just an amazing act of kindness. Thank you for that. Please pass on our thanks for that. And I guess the last thing I wanted to mention is this musical, which I've talked about a couple of times, that we had this year, was just amazing. And if you didn't get a chance to see it, I don't know if we should, I don't know if they're selling DVDs or, you know, my wife probably bought one. The answer's probably yes. But boy, it was amazing. And that culminated this past week in the nomination for the Mancini Awards, which everybody thinks that's a Beaver County thing. It's not just Beaver County. There are schools outside of Beaver County that participate in that as well. Ambridge was, I believe they received 11 nominations. They were nominated in every single category that they qualified for, which is, I believe, the first time that I've heard Ambridge accomplish that. It was the most in Beaver County, and I'm just so happy for the kids and for the staff. They put on a great show, and that's why we're here tonight. They're rehearsing for the Mancinis because they did get nominated for Best Musical, and they are rehearsing for that right now. They all get to go and they all get to perform, and I think there were 3 in their category that were nominated for. So just outstanding work, outstanding show, and I'm anxious to hear rumors about what next year's show is. And with that, I'll pass the baton to Dr. Pasquarella.
The day of the awards.
I'm sorry?
The awards.
I'm sorry, I don't know that. Does anybody know that? We'll find out and communicate that. I know the tickets are on sale and they're limited. There's a bunch of people that want to be in that room, so, but yeah, we'll communicate that. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, just want to, again, I think I said some thank yous throughout, just echoing what you had said there. Also, it was a great senior night for our volleyball team. And I know the other day we got to see the baseball team for their senior. That was a little while back now, but a lot of the spring sports are starting to come to a close. But congratulations to them and best wishes as they complete their season, along with our musical department. So really proud of the kids and looking forward to showcasing some of those folks next week. Thank you.
Very good. And our esteemed solicitor.
You are too kind. I do wish to report on the status of the district's litigation against Roads Transportation. With the board's support and direction, the district initiated a lawsuit against Roads Transportation approximately 9 months ago in an effort to preserve the district's claims for an alleged an actual breach of contract for transportation services. I'm happy to report that a consent judgment has been entered and that litigation has ended. Although the district stands in a long line of creditors for Roads Transportation, this board felt it was important that your interests were preserved in this formal way. And if there is any opportunity, then we will do our best to help that judgment materialize in some way. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. It's now time for old and new business. Any district resident who desires to comment on any business relevant to the Ambridge Area School District should now come forward. Each person must state their first and last name and address prior to speaking. Each person will be allowed 3 minutes and can speak only once. This period for public comment prior to the standing committee reports will be limited to 1/2 hour.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Fabiola Gergerich, 2623 Woodland Road, Harmony Township. It's a much smaller crowd than last month, I have to say. But anyway, I don't know if you're able to give an update on the Baden Charter Academy, where you are, or if you're still considering that. And I guess my question is, just as with Provident, if you don't renew the contract, even though you didn't have a contract with Providence, if you don't renew the contract with Baden, will you then go into litigation? So that's what I want to throw out. With roads, you went into litigation with them. You're not going to get any money because they don't have anything to give to you. So I guess my question is, as a taxpayer, how much money did this cost us? And, sorry. With the, on page 4, with the final budget for the 24-25 school year, it says there are no tax increase. Do you know what the millage rate is? No, yeah. Okay. Ambulance service, and please don't take this the wrong way, because sometimes I think when I ask questions, they're perceived incorrectly, and I'm not trying to say we don't need the service. I'm just curious, has the ambulance ever been used before? And if so, how many times? And then in regards to Head Start, how many students actually attend Head Start? Do we have a count? Do you folks monitor that? I don't know where it ends, where your jurisdiction ends and starts. And the wrestling mats, wow. I feel like I can't even say anything because my husband used to be a former wrestling coach, but that is a lot of money, and I get, you know, it might last for 10 years, but still, Jiminy Cricket is all I have to say. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to take 1 and 2 and
Maybe 1, 2, 3.
the millage, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Okay. So I believe that I can help address, to some degree, items 1, 2, and 3 that you raised. The first relates to the Baden Charter School application. So at last month's meeting, the board took an action to utilize its more formal rights under the charter school law to host and to schedule a local agency hearing. So from one perspective, it's the progression through that statute. In that first instance, it's more a function of creating the record and giving the board the formal chance to hear all of the evidence that is relevant and to move forward with that information. So that's the next step, and ultimately there would be a hearing. That date has not been selected, although we're in consultation with council for that charter school. So that is moving forward through that in, at least procedurally, in that collaborative way. The Rhodes litigation, they at no point did Rhodes defend or dispute the breach, and so in terms of a cost of litigation, there would be a small cost, and that would have related to the drafting of a complaint and the attendance, I think, at a handful of status conferences. But ultimately, it's a little bit better than one without a judgment from a court. So we'll stay tuned, and we'll do what is appropriate and also fiscally responsible. I'm sure the board would direct both of those things into consideration. Then your next question related to the millage rate. We have requested, although the final budget numbers have been requested, in order for us to calculate the millage rate, we need the final, most current information from the county assessment office about the total assessment portfolio for the district. We want to have the best information that we can, because in light of pending appeals, those numbers have vacillated from the original January certification. So we have that request in. We're anticipating that we'll have that feedback early next week. We have already tracked a number of large commercial appeals, so we can account for those appropriately in this calculation. It's our intention to do that as thoughtfully and as fairly as possible, but you don't want to either to take anything you don't want to underestimate this and not be able to realize that revenue neutral projection, or on the other side come out too high. So right now it is a blank and will only be a blank for another couple more days.
Yeah, the other couple, one was about the ambulance service. I mean, I know that, you know, one of the primary is at athletic events such as football games and other things. And I do, fortunately, I've seen it been utilized, not often, thank goodness, but it is available and it has been utilized at least on one occasion that I can remember being here, and I think it's important that we have it. I know you weren't saying it wasn't, but as far as how many times it was used, I'm not exactly sure. Head Start, how many attend? So Head Start is a program that goes across, you know, many areas of the region, including our county. What this agreement is talking about in particular is renting an elementary building, an elementary classroom in Economy Elementary. They have been struggling, I know, with staffing over the course of the last couple of years, although they've still paid us the rental fee for that. So in recent conversations with Tammy from over there at our recent meeting, she feels like that hopefully next year she will be able to have it staffed and we will be able to run that program. The exact number of students will probably come down to staffing, but there are other opportunities for Head Start throughout the county. But it sounds like she's going to be able to staff that, and it's another year of continuation where the district is, you know, providing that facility and bringing in some income for a room that's currently not being utilized. So I think that's a benefit to us and a benefit to Head Start. And I would just say to the wrestling mats, I'm not sure you really asked the question, but I would just say that I think as we acknowledge all of our student athletes, our students that are involved in the musical, you know, these are things that help our students, no matter what their passion is, to be able to be a well-rounded student. It's an important part of their high school. So wrestling, like our musical, like our band, like our football, like our basketball, so on and so forth, I think is an important component. And part of that is when you have programming, you do have to update the supplies and materials and fields and mats and those kind of things that go along with that. So probably left a couple out, but you know, track, baseball, softball, everybody, so on and so forth gets that. So it just is their turn. Thank you.
Good evening, folks. Randy Dawson, 219 Locust Street in Ambridge. I'd just like to ask a question on 8B regarding the insurance coverage. It specifically says about athletics and also covers interscholastic sports such as band and cheer. The last sentence, so if cheer has gone, band has gone, Mr. Knopfsnyder has gone, what if we go out of the state of Pennsylvania for events that are greater than 1 day? Does that mean there's no coverage then? So that's my first question. And the second one, just to share some information for the board, I currently am the president and the director of operations for Economy Ambulance. I can answer any questions that you may have on the ambulance-related topic. Also to share with the board, so Medic Rescue is one provider in Beaver County. Economy Ambulance is the other provider in Beaver County. Both of us have large areas that we cover. This district has always awarded the contract to Medic Rescue. I don't know why, but they have always done that for over at least 10, 15 years. I will tell you behind the scenes that none of you are probably aware about, the only school building of the Ambridge Area School District that sits in the service area of Medic Rescue is this building. The ambulance providers have designated coverage service areas that they have to cover based upon municipality. Economy is responsible for Baden, Harmony, Economy, and part of New Swickley. That means every other Ambridge Area School District building sits in the Economy Ambulance Service area. Behind the scenes, you award this contract to Medic Rescue. This contract is technically split in half. Medic Rescue, you get the check or you pay Medic Rescue. Medic Rescue then divvies that up, and half of this cost is given to Economy Ambulance. Medic Rescue does not cover, as you see, our vehicles at your football games most of the time. We cover most of your football games. We've also decided amongst our company, due to an issue that occurred at one of the football games, that we travel with the football team to away games also at no cost to this district. So the other thing, to Dr. Pascarella's comment about the ambulance coverage specifically related to athletics, it is not just athletics. Any student in any building is covered under this contract also 24 hours a day. It also covers any district employee within this not this building, any of the school district buildings, 24 hours a day for coverage. So what happens when an ambulance call is created, we reserve the right to what's called third-party billing. The billing gets sent to that person's insurance. If the insurance pays zero, because the district has a contract, it is still free. Whatever the insurance pays, that ambulance service collects that. And if there's a copay, just like you have a copay when you go to a doctor's office, it is zero because of the contract.
Very good, thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I would just say, to answer the question number one, maybe, Michelle, you could look into that for us.
I was just gonna say, I'll
The
look
way I
into it
read
for
it
that.
would be that it would not be covered in the motion, but I think it would be worth a follow-up, and we could get back to Mr. Dawson.
Very good, thank you. If no one else, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting and? Oh, yep, okay.
My name is Hillary Widowich, and I live at 300 State Street, Baden, Pennsylvania. I would just like to again speak and urge the board to reconsider its current decision to move ahead with non-renewal hearings and instead renew Baden Academy Charter's charter application. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? With that, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn the meeting and recess to executive session.
So moved.
Thank you. Second?
A second.
All right, thank you. All in favor?